Bougie go hotter than bitch. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Heavyweight Bros. We're here with episode 33, the Larry Bird episode, some might say. It is Tuesday, March 15th, and of course, I am your host, the Don Cartagena, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. And to my right, my co-host is the high yellow hitman, the freaking deacon. My little dumpling.
What?
Coach Buck, Uncle Raisin. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Dumpling? What is that?
So, like, you know how I just went on this trip? I was chilling with my boy. We were talking about the podcast and stuff like that. And then, like, you know, his wife was talking about it too. She was like, yeah, like, I listened to it. And, you know, you and your partner, like, what's his name? Peanut, Dumpling, Raisin. And, like, yo, I was like, Dumpling.
None of those things compared to a rice.
She was like, could have sworn you called him, like, Little Dumpling or something. I was like, I didn't. But I will from here on out.
Uncle Dumpling?
That's for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll get that on a t-shirt, Uncle Dumpling. What's up?
Yo, that is crazy. I'm doing good, man. I'm happy that you're back, man. I missed a little time that we had, you know what I mean? Missed episode, 2 episodes.
There's only one episode.
One episode. Felt like forever.
It did.
Felt like forever. I was like, homie's got to come home.
I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Judging by the way the script looked, you did have a lot to talk
extensive. About. But we had to cut some stuff out. But no, man, how you doing? How's your trip?
It was cool, but like I feel like I'm exhausted. I feel like it was a bit of a whirlwind. Like, you know, like it's like I didn't get one of those days where it's just like I don't do anything and it's just like, you know, just cool out. It was like there's always something going on. And it was like, and then everything.
And you lost an hour.
Yo, and I was out when I lost an hour too. And I was like, oh, damn, I just got home. It was 4:45. I was like, it's crazy.
He's like trying to get up already.
Yeah, but like I don't know what the word is. It was like, is it a refreshing trip? I was like, nah, because it wasn't that. Because like my sleep is still like a bit off. But it was a solid trip. Like I always enjoy seeing my guys. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. All right. Okay. Well, shout out to the happy couple. The baby will not call me Uncle Dumpling. We'll make sure of that.
When you send the onesie for the whatchamacallit for when the baby's actually born, is it gonna say Uncle Dumpling?
No, it's gonna say Low Dumpling. That's gonna be the baby's nickname, Dumpling.
No, but fire name for the kid though.
It is.
No, I'm talking about like the kid's actual name.
Oh, what is it?
Nasir. After my man NAS, or what is it spelled? Nasty.
Okay.
Nas.
My homie recently had a baby, and
I think I gave myself a splinter.
His initials spell Nas.
Are you
and
really?
I was like, okay.
How influential this is.
Yeah, and he's a Jay-Z fan, so it's kind of funny.
So the time is Illmatic. Keep static like wolf fabric. You know what I mean? Makes sense.
We don't own the copyrights to that. You're welcome, Nas. All right, you want to get right into it?
Of course. Let's dive on.
All right.
Because I'm about to dive in. Whoa.
Wow, this man's coming back with some ammunition. All right, well, we digging in the crates. First thing out of the gates, no diggity, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first things first, man. That boy Benny,
a butcher.
I knew you wanted to say it. I was gonna leave that little airway for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, dropped his new album.
Time to Talk 4.
Have you got a chance to get through it?
I went through it like 4 or 5 times. That was like the soundtrack to my trip for the most part.
Word.
Yeah, it's only 12 songs, and it's like it got to a point I was like, all right, I gotta listen to something else because I listened to it like 9 times. But like I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You got off the plane ready to do somebody dirty.
Nah, because it was literally like
There's Joey coming, brother.
Huh? This baby coming. But like, I think it's the same thing, kind of like we said about Conway's album. It's like lyrically, it's like, it's top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's like 12 songs on it. I think there's only like 2 of them that like I was like, I really didn't pay much attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know, I feel like Griselda music kind of stays at this specific level. Like they don't have like club songs or nothing like that, and like, you know, they don't even necessarily have like love songs and stuff like that. It's like you're here for this, and it's like this is what we're gonna give you for this whole album. This whole 45 minutes.
If it ain't broke.
And it don't need to be fixed.
Right.
I was trying to think, I was like, because right now, as it stands, like my number 1 album for the year is the Corday album still.
Okay.
And I was like,
was that this year?
Yeah, pretty sure it was this year.
I was gonna lead into a question of out of the albums that dropped so far, because we had Benny, Corday, Conway, and Kanye.
Kanye? Oh, Donda 2? I didn't listen to it yet.
I didn't listen to it either.
Did you watch, what's it, Gunna, the Pusha P, that album?
I didn't listen to it.
But I'm saying, wasn't that this year?
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like it was, though.
With that lineup that you just gave, Benny's number 2. Like, to me, like, that Corday album is still pretty.
Yeah, and I don't think it's getting the recognition that it deserves.
There's, on that Corday album, there's, 14 songs? Like, I want to say, a good 7 of them are in constant rotation.
Solid features.
Yeah.
And he's
But this album has a couple features on it, too. Like, obviously, I think the best song on there, besides, Johnny P. Caddy is still the best song on the whole album. And it's the first song. So, they made, you get it out the way. And I thought I wasn't going to listen to it. And I was like, I was wrong. I was definitely listening to that again.
I listen to that every morning. It's in my rotation. I think I do too. It's in my rotation.
But there is a song that he has on there with Conway. And it's I was just like, yeah, this song is amazing. Like, it's an amazing song. But one of my other favorite guys, and it's I don't hear him very often, is Boldy James. And it's
oh yeah.
He has a track with him too, and it's that's one of my 3 favorite songs on the album.
Okay.
Like that. It's but I think it's most certainly worth listening to.
I haven't got to it yet,
to your ride.
but I am listening to it tonight.
That's all I need to hear.
With attention. With attention.
Oh
yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, definitely. Aside from that, I guess we can get messy real quick.
We're not gonna take it easy.
So Kanye and Game dropped another what do they call it? Animated video.
Yeah, which I did not see.
To Easy.
Did I really give myself a splitter? Keep going.
Yes, brother's true. I think the second video is way better than the first video.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one was kind of
it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark.
It was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't lead too far away from the darkness in this one. There's still some dark moments in it.
Yeah.
But it seems like there was more creativity put into it.
Okay.
That man.
Because the last one seemed like it was dark for the purpose of being dark. And it's just
right.
man, this is I don't know if I should enjoy it. This is a little bit messed up.
Right. So it was there was more interaction with there was an actual person who looked like the Game and looked like Kanye. The monkey from the cover of the was in the video. Can we get rid of this monkey? Because I don't think it's a good mascot. I don't know what I don't know what it is with the monkey.
I don't know how I feel about this mascot.
But it's the monkey's standing in the video with his arms up like he is on the cover, and he's he was once a thug from around the way, and I'm
I watched the video. So I'm watching.
Yeah, but
we gotta start doing reaction videos.
I don't have a problem with it.
Once we figure out how to actually do that, that should be our thing. So that way, when people want to know what we think about trailers, it'll be an instant reaction. It's this look crazy.
That's easy. We can share a screen. I know how to do that. We got that.
Okay.
But he definitely made sure to not go away from getting Skete back in there either, man. And on top of that, things are getting really messy, really, really messy. I don't know if you've seen some of the messages going back and forth and some of the narratives that are being built. And
I definitely saw them. And I have some thoughts.
All right. So I think the craziest thing for me is when Skete was hey, listen, man,
his name's Pete. Pete Davis said, do not let Kanye win this by us calling him Skete.
So Skete is wilding.
So you think Skete is wilding?
I think everybody's wilding, to be honest with you. All the adults that are supposed to be in the situation being adults are not doing so.
I think he's been wilding the least, but go ahead.
Nah, fam. This man sent Kanye a picture from Kim's bed, bro. No.
You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's not talk about that. Kanye's not got a list of things that he did before he said that. He bought the crib across the street, bro.
I know.
And is making songs about me. He's going on interviews talking crazy about me. He's got a video that they're killing me and beating me up, and I can't be but I'm smashing your.
Fam, you're hanging around my kids and you pushed up on my wife, and we wasn't even away from each other that long.
You was pushed up on Julia Fox, and then now you got this new Kim Kardashian. Look, nah,
just doing that
I don't know. No, this is toxic.
That to make her jealous.
Exactly, but You can do
Kim
that.
is
And
not
it's
doing
like,
this to make this jealous. She's doing this to get her rocks off, man. This is crazy.
and I think that she's more.
And Pete's doing this to reestablish his career.
I think he's in it to smash the Kardashians because they're like, you seen that thing poking? He ain't joking. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. Listen, I think it's wrong, man. I think it's wrong. It's terrible.
I'm not saying that
terrible.
he's right. I think he's within his right because of how wrong that Kanye West has been towards him.
This is his family. He could be as
I'm trying to make it my
derogatory as
family.
he wants. Chill.
What you mean chill, bro? You not here no more.
Nah,
the papers is signed. You are not here no more, bro.
Fam, listen. He was there before
Move on,
the papers
Kanye.
was signed, though. That's the disrespectfulness, man. Like at least wait for me to get my last bag out the crib, bro.
If I'm dating some new girl, I do not have to wait for you to get your stuff together to get my stuff going on with my shorty.
Listen.
You sound crazy.
And
that's the thing that I think with a lot of these baby
because
daddies out here be feeling like that's what they need. And it's like, nah, bro, you got to keep it moving. What we need is to move on.
Listen, I don't care about the adults, man. Like they don't understand their actions is affecting these kids, and they're gonna see everything that's going on around them, and that joint is going to affect them. It's going to affect them. And you're not gonna see it until it's later on down the road, and they're gonna be like, I don't know why this happens because y'all was running around being idiots.
You're right. And
Pete's
who's been the most
Kim's
damaging to these
wildin'.
kids?
Kim.
Wow. Why are we caming for did Genius do this to you? Where it's like we're doing like a lot of like covered up like all the things that Kanye's doing, like it's not that big of a deal. All I'm saying is like Pete Davidson to me has done like the least amount to everybody. He even like tried to apologize, like tried to put out the olive branch.
Nah, man, he's playing the nice guy just to do it because it looks good. Like
playing the nice guy
man.
just to do it is a nice thing to
man.
do. Kanye's not being a nice guy.
Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see how sweet Skete can be when that man.
He's not sticking around. Like let's keep it a stack. Like he's not gonna marry Kim.
You ain't see what his last text said?
I mean,
I said, keep pressing me the way you was these last 6 months, and I ain't gonna be nice no more. I want to see what not nice Pete looks like.
As someone who is a nice guy, like you have your limits. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can be cool about so much stuff, but like you are wild, disrespectful.
Listen.
And it's like if you think that you can be wild, disrespectful, and I can't disrespect you back, you sound crazy.
You are in my house.
I'm in Kim's house. Because that's where you moved into.
Man, listen,
relax.
Man, listen, man.
Your house is across the street, my boy.
This, man, because I'm gonna mess around and be looking for Skete too.
It's like across the street, my boy.
Kanye, man, how much you said it was worth? How much you said he was worth? But yeah, man.
You know how many widows I tried to run up into? You got to deal with these baby dads. I'm like, yo, he's still around.
I just hope it doesn't get worse, man. Like it's already bad. I just hope it doesn't.
If it gets worse, who's gonna be the person that makes it worse? It's going to be Kanye.
All I'm saying is I'm thinking about the kids, man. All right. The adults are wilding.
I don't think Pete is.
You tripping.
So.
That brother's wilding.
That's what's about like when you're in an argument or like when you're in a beef, like there's a card that you have to pull. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Drake was beefing with Meek Mill, like what are the biggest cards? I smashed Nicki Minaj, I make more money than you, I got more hits than you. And it's like he really didn't pull those cards. But it's like when you keep coming at me and you keep doing like all this other stuff to me, it's like some point one of these cards is getting pulled, my brother. And the main card that Pete Davidson has is I smashing your wife. Like, what do you really your ex-wife? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could say I'm ugly, you could say I don't make as much money as you, that I'm not as cool as you, like all these other stuff. You could do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I was smashing your baby moms. And it's like he held on to that card for a minute. Cause like they've been broken up for like 3-4 months now, and this is the first time that he says something like that. And he sent them a text about it. This man decided to post the text. That's not on me. You're the one that wants to post all this crazy stuff all day long about me to the world. I sent you something privately because that's where I'm trying to keep it.
No, Pete's wilding, bro. I don't care. You're not gonna convince me.
He's wilding more than Kanye.
Yes.
Yes. Big tripping.
Get in the comments. Let me know. Tell everybody. Everybody told Joel he's wilding. All right, we gotta move.
You could make this the shorts clip video and whatever. Because I know for a fact.
I'm on it. I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with it at all.
Clickety clacky.
Like yay or Skete. Who's
we do a poll?
Right. I'll put that joint on there, the little bar that moves from one side to the other. But yeah, man. We'll move on to Insomnia TV. We don't have much there.
I think we only got like one thing, right?
We only have one thing, not because of any fault of mine, but someone was walling again.
The script we had a pretty robust script. You know what I mean?
and someone didn't watch shows.
I watched trailers though. Did you watch the trailers? Did you watch the trailers?
Yes.
Because I could talk. Tell me about the Marvels. What's that about?
You didn't even send me that trailer. So
I did. I sent it to you in the script.
I'm not trying to hear none of that. It's tripping.
I'm just saying.
Right, so
did you watch the Atlanta season 3 trailer?
Yes.
What'd you think about that? We can talk about that.
That's pretty dope. We're not about to talk about that. Just so you have something to talk about in this segment. I'm not doing it with you. You better watch Snowfall. You better watch Bel Air because another episode's coming out in a couple of days. You're gonna be behind 2 episodes on both shows.
I'm gonna try.
Get it together. All right. So first things first, man. Shout out to the bad guy, Ramon. Hey yo. Throw that toothpick in your face. He passed away yesterday.
Yes,
I believe it was. I can say that I watched a lot of wrestling growing up, but like, you know, I know some guys who are still avid wrestlers watchers now. I have not kept up with it, but this is definitely one of the guys that like I grew up seeing in the ring, had the little action figure like Razor Ramon, was definitely one of those trailblazers for getting like black and brown faces into the WWF. And like what he did spoke volumes, and it impacted the entertainment situation as far as like the WWF for years to come. And the hearing his passing, it's kind of almost like a piece of your era is like passed away. So I was just like, yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, he was never really like anybody's favorite wrestler, but everybody liked.
He was
Razor
called
Ramon.
the bad guy.
Exactly, like you know, so like he was never like everybody was like, yo, my favorite wrestler is Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
But like when he came in, like the man was a show,
right?
And it's like you said, like when the Razor comes out, when he hits him with the Razor's edge, and it's like, yo, like you could have what you got.
And it was like edge was so easy to do on your little cousins. It was just like, I'm tired of doing the figure 4. I'm tired of doing the sharpshooter because I got in trouble for almost breaking your spine. But this Razor's edge,
yeah, you catch that.
You get this Razor's edge. Bang, get up out of here. But yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough.
Gotta say R.I.P. to the God.
R.I.P. Razor Ramon. All right. Moving on. We'll get over to Popcorn Poppy.
Okay. Don't stop popping.
I like how you get right back to this. We don't want to copyright for that. Luke, don't come looking for us.
I always try to figure out, like, I was like, am I doing the 2 Live Crew pop that, or am I doing the oh my god, French Montana like one?
2 Live Crew.
Okay.
2 Live Crew. We're not even gonna go there. All right. So I did watch a movie. Okay. You watched the movie.
I did.
Unfortunately, we didn't watch the movie that the other one watched. So I'll go first.
Okay.
I watched The Adam Project.
This is the Ryan Reynolds one that like we were talking. They got to the big argument about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
how spoilery are we getting with this conversation right now?
I'm not getting super spoilerly because I want you to watch this movie.
I do plan on watching it.
It's on
the
movie
queue.
proves me right and proves you wrong. I'm just kidding.
I'll watch this right now. What in the middle of this podcast?
But yeah, it is like your classic time travel movie. It did host more stars than I thought it did.
Because the trailer only shows you Ryan Reynolds. And then,
right.
Like,
so you got Ryan Reynolds. You have who's the girl who played on the TV show Alias?
Jennifer Garner?
Yep. You have who's the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy? That the green face.
Zoe Saldana?
Yep. You have the guy who played Bruce Banner, the Hulk, the last one.
Mark Ruffalo?
Yep. The one who's like, I'm always angry. That one, yep, he's in it. And the
They knew. Did you ever see Spotlight?
No.
Oh, it's an amazing movie. You should check it out.
Then there's one other lady in it that's kind of like the adversary in the movie who's also famous, but I just can't remember her name or any other movie that she's in.
Yeah, because I was really knocking it out of the park for a second.
He was killing it. But it's classic time travel movie. I think for me, I thought it was gonna be like cheesy and boring because it was on Netflix, but they really it was really fun and entertaining.
Is it long?
It's not long at all. It's like hour and a half.
Oh,
I was able to maybe hour 40, but I was able to knock it out with the little homie, and we were both entertained by it. It was pretty dope, and I like how Ryan Reynolds has like that quirky sarcasm about his acting,
the dry wit.
So like the little boy in the movie acts like, so you think everybody's gonna act like them. Everybody kind of adjusted to being their own version of Ryan Reynolds. So it was just like
there's more than one.
So the little boy, this will be the only spoiler. The little boy is him as a young kid and then it's him as older. But that's in the trailer.
Yeah,
So,
I knew that.
So the little boy kind of has some of that quirky sarcasm that Ryan Reynolds has, and to see it as a kid, it was like, oh, that's pretty dope.
You made it sound like there was like 3 or 4 versions of him.
Well, Bruce Banner plays his father.
Okay.
Who also has the same type of I'm super smart sarcasm, but it was like instead of them acting like the dad, but you could tell it came from the dad. Like there's one scene when they're all walking together and they're all got like this little funny style walk, and they're just like, oh, look at the older son, the younger son, the dad, and they're just like it was pretty dope. I enjoyed it.
That sounds dope.
It's definitely
my heart just warmed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
with your description of the scene.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a family fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely entertaining. It's definitely worth a watch. And I did watch it on my TV, not on my phone.
Look at that, leveling up.
Hey,
That's
see that?
stuff.
You see that? Hey, you know, I'm just trying to do my thing over here.
We're gonna. Okay, that's problematic. I think we should keep that one back. Hey, Jadakiss, we got a roommate for you.
My bad. I tried. I shot. Break. And I know you did go watch a movie, which was
I watched The Batman. I watched it twice, actually.
Whoa.
So I mean, that should be a good sign in itself. But like the first time I did watch it, it's pretty late at night after a flight, stuff like that. Like I didn't fall asleep at all.
You just weren't attentive.
No, it was just like I felt like I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I saw a more fresh face. So when I got back, I watched it. So like when I got back, like I watched it again, and I was like, I still enjoyed it, but I was just like watching it a second time, knowing like the twists and stuff like that. It's a lot harder to watch because the movie is 3 hours long.
Sheesh.
When you watch it the first time,
I think my son told me it was 3 hours long, and I was like, "That's not true."
No, 3 hours long. The first sit through, the first time I watched it, did not feel like 3 hours at all. Like I was like, if you would have told me that this movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes, I would have believed you. The second time watching it, I was like, this feels like a 3 hour. I was like, ooh. I was like, I already know. Like,
did I lose that hour already?
Like, I was like, it's coming back to bite me right now. It was killing me.
I came in, it was light out.
But I thought it was fantastic. It is most certainly like on the Dwell scale. I'm not even gonna need to go through the scale. It's a full pricer. Like if you're gonna see it, watch it in the theater. It's the thing that's tough about this movie, and it's tough about all Batman movies, is we are 13 Batman movies in. Right. So like when we talk about these movies, you're going to compare them to the other movies. 13 Batman movies. Sheesh. So like when you start talking about these movies, you're going to compare them to the other one. And like that was the thing, is like I didn't like, knowing that I wasn't going to see it opening weekend, I had to like temper my expectations, temper what everybody else was saying, because people got real crazy, and it was like, you know, they were just like, oh, it's the best superhero movie ever. It's better than The Dark Knight. It's better than this and I'm gonna say I thought it was really good. It ain't touching that Dark Knight, boy.
Okay.
It ain't touching that Dark Knight.
I was about to say.
I had an honest conversation with myself, because I believe the second best Batman movie is Batman Begins. So I was like, that's the one.
Christian Bale when he first came in, right?
With Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul.
I got a name right there.
Look at that.
That Ra's al Ghul joint was dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, to me, that's the second best Batman movie. And I was like, is it better than Batman Begins? And I don't think it is.
Okay.
But it's like,
so it's the third one.
Yeah. So like, and I know you really like Rises with Bane.
Yes.
I do think it's better than that movie.
Really?
Yes, I do think it's better than that.
I don't know how accurate that is.
Hey, Big Paulie, we got a roommate for you. I didn't realize Bane was Yoda.
I was just about to say, it felt real Yoda.
Rise, you will.
I was like, when did Bane turn into Yoda?
Darkness is your ally, you think? Like, what was that, bro?
Yo, my bad. All right, we never gonna do that again.
The fact that, like, because everybody, even when they do it, they automatically do their hands. So the fact that you didn't do the hands, I was like, oh, this is a bold
I think
choice.
that would have made the difference.
So I give it a shot.
No.
Give it a shot.
No, not this.
Come on.
No, it's over. It's over.
We'll be back. But no, I thought the Riddler was like really well done. But like honestly, like my favorite character was the Penguin. The Penguin, who's played by Colin Farrell. He was in the movie Miami Vice with Jamie Foxx.
Keep going.
He was Bullseye in the Daredevil movie, with the one where he had like the thing on his head.
Keep going.
Oh man, Colin Farrell, like now you're killing me, because like he was supposed to be like the next big actor for a long time, and he just never really blew up like that. I lost it. We're gonna have to come back to it. But he
Okay.
played the Penguin, and it's like you literally cannot tell that it's Colin Farrell like the whole time.
Okay.
Like that's how good he looks as him, and I think he acted dope, stuff like that. Loved Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Okay.
She is. Batman's a better man than me. That's all I'm saying. There is way too many scenes where she's like this close, and she's like, "Is that really what you think?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what did you just say?" It's like, it is real sticky in my suit. But Robert Pattinson as Robert
No more
Pattinson.
vacations for you.
Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Okay.
I thought he was. I was about to start swearing.
He's a dude from Twilight, right?
Yes, he is the dude for Twilight or Tenet.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that.
More big on Twilight or Tenet.
On him playing Batman.
No.
Did he hold it down?
He was a dope Batman. I think Christian Bale is still the number one Batman. But if you were to be like, I like him better than Michael Keaton, I'd be like, I can see that.
Okay.
I don't think that he was a great Bruce Wayne, but I think that they went a different route with this Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
And
Bruce Wayne.
yeah, and he's like not really in this movie too much. Like he's the Batman a lot in this movie.
Okay.
So like that's what he's more not. And then like he might have the best batsuit. Like his batsuit is fire.
Really?
And it's like, Christian Bale had like the real small mouth hole.
Mhm.
Like his does like the whole jawline, and it just makes it look so much more fire.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, he's putting in work.
So he must have had some quick turnarounds on his bat suit.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like my man G-Head over at Custom Merch on IG and Etsy. Make sure that you hit him up and then hit that promo code Heavyweight Bros, spelled HW8Bros to get you 10% off your order. Because the more you spend,
The more you save.
like Batman be saving the people of Gotham.
Hey, I like how you got back into that. Okay.
I never slip.
All right, so
I never fall. But I definitely think it's worth a watch. I think you should definitely watch it in the theater. Like I said, it is the 3 hours long, so like prepare for that. Also, it has a pretty bad post-credit scene, so you do not need to stay for the end of the movie
Thank
for the
you for that,
post-credit
because
scene.
after 3 hours, and you sit there and you wait for that, you're like,
When I saw it the second time, like I said it out loud and people still didn't move, and I was like, "It's on you," because like everybody still said it. I was like, "Just want to let y'all," and I told them exactly what it was. I was like, "Just want to let y'all know it's a pretty trash Easter egg, and this is all that it is." All right, so y'all, I was like, yeah, like I don't know what y'all want from me. I was like,
you kept walking out all you heard was,
Yeah.
told you. I told you.
It ain't as bad as that Matrix post-credit scene, but it was pretty bad.
Or the Matrix movie.
But the post-credit scene was it's the worst post-credit scene I've ever seen in any movie ever.
So was the movie.
It's not that bad.
Okie dokie.
All right, well,
moving on.
There you go.
So-
That's my spoiler-free Batman review.
There
When
you go.
you watch it, we can get into the spoiler talk of it. Are you going to watch it anytime soon?
I'm going this weekend.
Okay, that's all I need to hear.
All right.
By the Saturday pod?
Yep, I'm gonna go early so that we can talk about it.
Heard you.
All right. Being there with the old people.
And me, because that's what I do. I go to matinees. That's my jam.
Word. So still in Popcorn Poppy, because
Okay.
this has something to do with movies, but not actually a movie.
Okay.
Do you know who Ryan Coogler is?
The famous director of Black Panther and Fruitvale Station and pretty much any movie that Michael B. Jordan's ever been in.
Wrongly arrested this weekend.
Saw that.
Yes.
It was rough.
Yes. So police pulled up on this man in the bank, drew their weapons on this
Well,
man.
no, you gotta give the context. Like, why did the police show up?
I was gonna get to that afterwards.
All right.
I want to set it because this is the way it was delivered to me.
Okay.
Everything that happened first, and then I found out why it happened.
Okay.
So police drew their weapons on this man. He was not being violent. He even told the police officers, like, hey, if you check my ID, I think you'll be sorely upset that you're making this decision. I just want to let you know that. They put him in the cuffs, put him in the car. I believe he was with a couple people. They also put them in cuffs and put them in a separate vehicle, and said that it was reported to them that he passed a note to the teller to try and rob the bank. This is the man who directed Black Panther,
And Fruitvale Station.
and Fruitvale Station.
A movie about a person who dies at the hand of police custody. Go ahead.
Facts. So what the story entails after they finally released this man from the cop car is that he has a midwife, I believe he said it was,
Yep.
or some form of caretaker for a family member at home.
Yep.
He pays them in lump sums for the work they do at his home with the person they're caretaking for. The one thing that you don't want to do in a person in his position is go and try to withdraw a bunch of money, because we've been to the bank before, whether you taking out $1, $100, or $1,000, you write it down, you say this much, and what do? They count out your money and they say, this is how much money I'm giving to you. If I'm in the bank, let's say I'm taking out 10 grand. I don't want somebody to know I'm walking out of the bank with 10 grand. So what he did is he wrote the amount that he needed on the piece of paper from the bank teller from his account, so that they can discreetly give him the amount of money that he was asking for, so that he can leave without anybody knowing what he was leaving the bank with. The lady took that as a bank that he frequently does this at, as he was passing a note to them to rob the bank. And that's how he ended up in this predicament. Terrible.
I know that bank breathed a heavy sigh of relief when it found out that the bank teller was black. Because if that bank teller was white,
listen,
like granted, like we already on their backs, but if it would have been a white bank teller,
I mean, I think it's still going to cripple the bank, because the first thing I'm doing is pulling my money off the bank.
Absolutely.
And I know that means you can't be playing with my money with your little stocks and bonds and tradings and all that other stuff that you be doing. When I see a number, but my actual tangible number, you doing stuff with it behind the stores, and you gain equity and all that extra stuff from my money being there, you no longer will have that. And anybody that I'm associated with is going to know this, and they're probably going to pull their money from that bank as well. Y'all better hit up Killer Mike. He got a nice little black-owned bank situation. You might want to hop into that. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Killer Mike.
Always.
But, yeah, I thought it was terrible.
It was most certainly a bad look. Like the whole video, I'm like, oh, this looks.
Yeah, I think the most terrifying situation for me is the fact that he was unarmed. He didn't make any sudden moves, but the cop felt it necessary to pull his gun out while they were still in the bank. Like, this man was turning around and this man unholstered his gun. And I'm like, for what reason? For what reason? Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't understand what is okay with this keep pulling your gun out on people when you have a baton, you have a taser, you have all types of tactical trainings. Like, you got this Detroit trainer dude that can pull a gun from behind his neck on somebody and make all these memes, but y'all scared of somebody when it's two of y'all standing with one man standing in front. I just don't get it. It bothered me. It bothered me a lot.
I know. And just to play like devil's advocate on it, it's like, you got to think about it from their perspective as well. It's like they just got a phone call that somebody's trying to rob a bank and they have to show up. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're already on 10 when you get there.
Right.
And then it's like, like he's standing there or whatever. I didn't see the video of them entering. I don't know if they entered the building with their guns drawn or like they pulled up on him, said something to him, and then pulled the gun on him.
So they walked in with their hands on their guns from two different angles. And when he went to turn around, the gentleman who was facing him pulled his gun out.
Okay.
And then the other gentleman cuffed him. And while he was getting cuffed, the gun was still out. So that's how mistakes happen. Like, we're cuffing you and like, oh, my hand's mixed up. Pow. Yeah. Like,
I'm just glad that the results were that nobody was harmed or anything like that. Like, obviously there's an embarrassment piece on a lot of people's part. Mm-hmm. But like we could have lost like not just like one of the most creative, brilliant young directors out here, but we could have just lost a young black man for nothing other than taking his own money out of
the bank. To pay someone who's taking care of a family member.
I obviously don't have the resources that Ryan Coogler has, but I feel like if that was the case, and this is something that I was going to do on the regular, why not just call the bank before you get there and be like, hey, I'm coming to make this transaction. Like,
the cop said that too. And he was like, hey, I'm coming out of a CVS. I forget what he said. He said, I'm coming out of CVS. I smell mad smoke. I'm going straight from the CVS to the bank. The last thing I want to do is be on the phone talking about, hey, I'm coming to get this amount of money. Like, while people are around. I guess you could say he could have hopped in the car and did it.
No.
Or whatever it is. But it's just like, I shouldn't have to do all this to take my money out.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's like, granted, like, it seems like you're taking a bunch of precautions anyways to take the money out. And it's like, that's the thing is like people do is like victim blaming. Yeah. It's like, well, you should have just done this and then you wouldn't have been a victim.
Right.
And it's like, it just seems like he was going to be a victim regardless, stuff like that. And it's just like, no, like don't they take your ID and stuff like that? Like when you withdraw money, especially money over, I think it's over $1,000, you have to show your ID, right?
For that particular bank, he probably had to have some type of ID just to get in there.
Probably.
Like those might be the type of withdrawals you go to a small desk for all we know. You know
I know though, when you go to the bank, like they specifically tell you do not write nothing on a piece of paper because like that's how that stuff gets taken.
Listen,
like,
but I handed it to you with my ID.
Okay, I'm not saying that he was wrong for doing that. I'm just saying I know that that's a big thing. Like they're like, do not do that because like that because that's what they do is they'll be like, give me all the money, and it's like they're supposed to just.
And I believe the teller like never checked his information.
Probably not
because what Coogler said is that he was like, okay, I'll be right back, and then he went. He was like, okay, sir, we're gonna be with you in just a second. And went somewhere and came back. Was like, we're almost ready for you, and came back, and then that's when the cop showed up. It was like, if he just took the time to type his name, and he would have been like, oh shoot, this is okay, all right, you know what I mean? But
or just looked at me and look at my ID,
right?
And then like, I'm also pretty sure like when you pull up my account, there's a picture of me there.
It's something.
There's a lot.
Or it's like,
a picture of my license.
Sir, do you know what the access code is? Yes, it's actually the name of the loved one that I'm taking this money out for. That's getting caretaked for at home. It's just like,
it's safe to say Ryan Coogler is not banking there no more, unless the interest rates are astounding. I bet it.
Nah, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for the near future too. I mean, but you know, sometimes that's what they want, for our money to be elsewhere. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Terrible situation. Shame on you, police officers.
Shall we?
Yes, we should. We'll go right into the Hardwood Check-in. I know that's a rough transition, but it is what it is. Missed the microphone so much. A little fade out. Fade out. All right. So first things always happens. Go ahead and say it.
What?
I was like, first things first.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
All right.
But you thought about it.
KD and Kyrie, is it enough?
Enough to what?
To win the East. They played James Harden and his Sixers, and they smacked them boys in the mouth. Then he played my Knicks without Kyrie and dropped a 50 burger and got through that game. They needed all 53 of them points.
Can Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving by themselves win you a round or so in the playoffs? Yes. Can it potentially win you the East? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Can it win you a championship? I don't think so.
Okay.
But I mean, in a 7-game series, you're gonna have the KD game, you're gonna have the Kyrie game, mm-hmm. Then you're gonna have the game where they both go off, mm-hmm. And then then it's kind of like one of the, I don't know, Bruce Brown has a crazy game or something. I'm just saying like a Seth Curry game. Seth Curry is all of a sudden on fire and makes him and Drummond together. Makes 7 threes and Drummond's got like mad blocks. Like you can get those games out of them, but like could you rely on that for like a 7-game series? Like I don't think you can. Like, are you beating Milwaukee with that? It's like, because like I put Drew Holiday on Kyrie and then Giannis on KD. Then what? It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. The Miami Heat, who like I told you I'm not very high on. It's like that's all they have is like guys 1 through 5 are lockup. Yeah. And so like that, and it's like like I'm gonna put Jimmy Butler on KD, put Kyle Lowry or somebody on Kyrie, and it's like you'll get a game or two off on us, but like you're not winning. The whatchamacallit. And it's like that's the thing too, is like when they get those games, they're gonna be, it's a blowout and it's not even close. Right. Because that's how crazy they're gonna go. Right. But like I think more often than not, it's like, no, I don't think it's enough.
It's a fair assessment. Yeah. Answer me a question.
Okay.
How is it that KD can't play in New York, but he can show up to the game?
Talk about
Kyrie, my bad. Show up to the game, unmasked, sit by the bench, and shake hands with almost every player on the team.
Ruby this Batman.
I just don't get it. I did just get some breaking news on my phone while we were sitting here, though.
Okay.
The Nets got fined $50K for letting Kyrie into the locker room with the players. The locker room that he already shares with the players.
This is crazy.
Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I feel like they're trying to make an example out of Kyrie. Like, have they changed the mandate in New York?
Yes, to an extent, but I don't know the exact extent of it.
So I can go to a restaurant, but he can't play in a basketball game.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Does it make sense? No.
I just didn't get it. Mind you, the $50K was only because he went into the locker room. If he had just left the game, they wasn't gonna say nothing to this man.
Yeah.
So why I can't just sit on the bench and play the game? I won't even go to the locker room after the games. As soon as the game's over and we win, I will put on a hoodie and walk to the car.
But I think it's like, I wish I had a better term to use, but it's like it's a dick measuring contest now, because it's like now the NBA doesn't want to fold on this because like he's been so adamant on it, and it's like he doesn't want to fold on this because he wants to prove how wrong they are. So like nobody's budging.
Mm-hmm. And the mayor dude was like, Kyrie can play whenever he wants. Get vaccinated. Like,
yeah.
But he can show up to the game unvaccinated with no mask. Like, fam, I don't get it.
Make it make sense.
I don't get
it's
it.
Like probably the best
I
way
don't
where
get
it's like make it make sense.
Right by the bench, giving people dab. He did a little handshake with KD after he beat the Knicks. Like,
I just hope that they figure something out for the playoffs, because like
if you finding me $50K for being in the locker room, then like what? I mean,
can he not play in a mask? Is that like not a thing? Because like I know like college basketball and high school hoops, like that was a
high
thing for a
school
while.
does, but they don't do it in college or in the league.
Yeah, but it's like, why not?
I feel like they're gonna say something like it's a danger to have on your face in the court, kind of like what they did with the NBA headbands that they had at that point, and it was like those are dangerous. They'll find some way to be like, this is endangering to yourself or the players, and we can't have it.
Because like I'm thinking about like LeBron wore the carbon fiber masks, or like Rip Hamilton would used to wear the mask.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why not? Why can't I cover this? You know what I mean? Like, especially like those ones that have like the filters on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we got him like a big enough mask that covers from here to here, and like he's comfortable enough playing with, like, why can't he?
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm just throwing it out there because like I don't know the answer either, and I know you don't know the answer, but it's just like to put it out. One of you keyboard warriors, this is the first time that I've asked you. Please let us know. Like if you have the answer to this, I would love to know, because I don't get it. And I don't even like Kyrie Irving, but it's like, to me, it just seems ridiculously unfair to him.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So.
People are rude.
Sure.
In other news, I brought this up before, but it's starting to take shape and take form.
Okay.
The homie Delonte West was at his Big 3 tryout.
I did see that. I saw him. He knocked down like 6 4-pointers like in a row.
Yes. Like and walked off like, all right, it is what it is. But he does look like he like needs to put some weight on, of course. Definitely needs to get into shape, but he definitely looks like he's played in the NBA. Because them shots, he was not like, I don't know what he's gonna do when somebody's pressing him in his face and he got to put that ball on the floor and move around and throw some dimes or something. But yeah. I feel like he's gonna shock some people, man. And I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him, man. I'm hoping it works out. This man mess around and get rookie of the year, Big 3 that year or something, get knocked off in the first round of the playoffs or something like that, but just ends up having like a really good season.
I think everybody's kind of rooting for him.
Yeah.
Like I've never been a big Delonte West fan, so it's like I don't want to say like I don't care type of deal, but it's like I'm not watching these Big 3 games specifically to see Delonte West. Like I hope you can play and like you can make money and feed yourself. And it's like if you're good enough, we'll watch you. And if you're not, then it's like you go the way of everyone else who's just not good enough. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm on the first Delonte West game.
You get a jersey?
Nah.
All right. What do you mean you're on the first game? Like you're watching the game, or you're actually going to a game?
No, I'm watching it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where these games is at. I'm pretty sure they're somewhere close
to
where Ice Cube live.
Some of them be in Boston and stuff like that. Like they travel.
No, sir. For real?
I swear, yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Like I remember last year, I think it was I take it back. The year before COVID hit, they were coming to Boston for a game, and it's like they had like 3 games like in the day or something like that. And I was like, oh, we should go. COVID hit. It was like, yeah, you could go back inside.
Now you can come outside as long as you pay $7 for gas.
Or you could sit courtside and pay $50K and not play in this game.
Dang, that hurts. Sheesh. Kyrie don't matter though. He ain't get fined. The team did.
I mean, sure. You can spit it however you want to spit it.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right. In other news, MVP versus MVP. Did you watch the game?
Yes, I did.
Nuggets versus Sixers?
Yes, sir.
I thought it was a good game.
It was a great game.
It was a really good game.
I think it also showed why I have Jokic as my number 1 MVP.
Okay.
Because I think like
he won the matchup. He won the matchup.
They won the game. Joel Embiid did have more points.
Yes. So Joel Embiid won the matchup. Jokic and them won the game. I like Embiid was coming at that man's neck from the gate. He was like, this is what the people are here for. This is what we getting at. He's like, I'm going to the rack. I'm catching the dunk. I'm hitting the early 3. I got 10 of the 27 points. I'm not playing out here, fam. You better come correct, or else it's gonna be a dog walk. And the Nuggets.
And Jokic said, dog walk. Excuse me. Like I'm dropping dimes. If he dies, he dies.
But yeah, he I think I knew it was a wrap when like Joel bumped him off the line. He threw the little crazy assist into the pocket. I was like, yeah, this brother's in his bag.
Right? Yeah, how many times did he have Joel Embiid jumping though? Like, how many times did he I was like, damn, this boy Embiid was like, oh, what is going on?
Yeah, he was sweet feeting him.
Yeah, man, he was putting him through the process.
Yeah. If you're telling me to think about like who's the MVP based on this game, I still think it's a tight race. I know the Nuggets did win the game.
So you try to tell me you came to war with an MVP and one of the greatest scorers of all time, and I came to war with a couple G Leaguers and Aaron Gordon and a slam dunk finalist, and I beat you by more than 10 points. It's still close? He led the game he's the center, led the game in assists, led the game in rebounds, and he had like 26 points or something like that.
Yes.
Come on, man. What more do you need?
What
more can I say?
Hey. You gonna throw a J bar in there to try to convince me?
What more can I do?
Okay. All right. I still think there's a lot of basketball left. I gotta wait and see. But like I said, I do, he does get the one up because his team won the matchup. So, but I was super entertaining. And I like the fact that they wasn't holding back and letting the game come to them. They was getting after it, and it was exciting to watch.
I just like the fact that we're having an MVP conversation, and it's about two big men.
That's true.
And like, we're going to talk about another one pretty soon, like in another segment, but it's just like, remember when the big man was dead a couple years ago? And that was like, I kept telling people, I was like, it's not dead. It's just not what it looks different now.
Yep. And
it's like, now they really showed out these centers. It's like, yo, like these 90 centers really want this smoke.
We're not going to have that. This is going to take too much time. We're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do that right now. The other big man that he is talking about is that man, Cat. That man dropped. That got me.
Jordan Woods' little boo thing.
You want to say that again?
Jordan Woods' little boo thing.
It's like first Rihanna, now Jordan. It's all right. You be okay. All right. That man dropped 60 on y'all head top, dog.
Boy, did he.
Yo,
boy, did he.
That man was doing this interview, and she was like, so you had 32 in the third quarter? He was like, what? I had 32 in the third? He was like, whoa. So this brother was impressed with himself. It's like, hey, listen, man, I'm here for it, man. I like it, man. I think he becomes that's the highest scoring game by Timberwolf in Timberwolf history, too.
Yeah, and I think it's like the highest point total by anybody since like Devin Booker's 71.
That's what's up.
Or something like that. It's like he broke like a ton of records, and
yes,
it's like, it was like, and I think it was the largest point total by a big man since Shaq.
Okay.
Something like that. So
does he solidify himself as the best Timberwolf?
Absolutely not.
Who is it?
That boy, the big ticket. Anything is possible.
Oh my goodness. He could have said so many other things.
Nah, that was perfect.
No, it wasn't.
That man was off a bean, boy. He was like, he was all sweaty. Anything is possible. Like, are you kidding me?
He had better lines and uncut gems than he did at that moment.
Why would you show me some shit that I can't have, man?
Right.
I need that. Like,
that's my guy right here, man. Oh, if y'all ain't seen
uncut gems. Acting on a dime. That's what I've been telling you. Yeah. You're not on my level, bro.
All right, we're gonna get into that, bro, because I'm not gonna show you nothing, because I'm not gonna have you ready for nothing. All right, you better stay ready and get ready, because when time comes, it's
hopefully you don't have to do an Italian roll. We could.
Hopefully you don't have to do a Russian roll.
What do you mean? I could do Russian.
Sounds good.
Svetlana.
See me lean the chair and give me the sound effects.
Close the chest.
But yeah, so
why would I play a Russian? Look at any, like, you could play an Italian, like you'd be like in the mob or something like that, but like, in what world would I need to be a Russian in any way, shape, or form?
A lot of the Marvel movies that you like have Russians in them.
Yeah, usually played by white people that are people that are Russian.
So what? You gotta extend your palette, man.
Nah, I can't play a woman.
They
so
can
like
they can go blackface, but we can't go whiteface.
Yeah. Because when they go low, we go high.
That's what's up.
Michelle Obama.
Should have told the Wayans brothers that.
Honestly, a really good whiteface movie. Like it's you almost forget how problematic that movie is, but I just feel like it was a good movie.
I enjoyed it. It's still ringing bells.
Yeah, what does he say when he comes over? He's like, well. And that snowflake. Be careful, you gonna melt. look at as much as people have soured on Terry Crews, that performance as not Damon, what's his name in it? But it was just legendary. Like, and I need you. When he was in the club, like,
with the whistles with no shirt on.
Yeah,
Terry Coon.
That man was killing it in that movie. I'll care.
Terry Coon. You can come on the show too. I will not be your guest though. So speaking of the big ticket, being the best Timberwolf. He recently got his jersey retired.
Yes, he did.
Everybody's talking about the best moment of the night, not just the raising of the banner, but he was just like, "Hey man, it's really good to see that Ray Allen guy over here, man. Boy, I'm happy to see you here, man."
It was real nice because 2 weeks ago.
You're right. I think it was a really good moment until Paul Pierce ruined it.
as
right.
always,
right.
I was like, I wish I'd done Pierce. Like,
listen, I was mad at the people that was like, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and KG have a moment. No, it was KG and Ray Allen's moment. And it's like these brothers were still hugging and Ray's talking in his ear. And Paul's like, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, bro, go somewhere before we call Benzino. Like, so I'm like, all right, my bad. I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
I see booty. I see booty. I bet you when I go to put this on Spotify and I try to look up that song to put it in here, they won't be there because Spotify don't got Benzino on it.
But yeah, man, I definitely thought the whole Paul Pierce thing was whack, but I thought it was dope because Ray could have just sat there and gave him like a little respect. But you could tell they was both feeling the same way, like, yo, this is my bro. We won a championship together.
I don't think Ray Allen was ever the person that had the problem with KG, though.
Yeah, but he knew what he did was wrong, man.
Oh, my. Are we going to have this conversation? What Ray Allen did was wrong?
I must address your loyalties, player. Like, come on, man. Like,
I literally just left the Seattle Supersonics. What loyalty are you talking about? Kevin Garnett, we're going to talk about your loyalty to what you did to the Timberwolves. You
left here to go join a dude that we've been battling against to help beat us and win a ring. Like, that joint's a little heartbreaking. Last time I checked,
I came to win these, not to be your friend.
No, Okay. We're not gonna get into it right now.
I was like, because that brother was like a couple of years later was a Brooklyn Net, or so like
we're not gonna get into it right now, but we'll say that was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are we saying? Paul Pierce after that was a Clipper and a Raptor. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, they was just trying to get paid at that point. Ray Allen was trying to take off throats, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he saw the tea leaves, and he saw when LeBron was yamming on everybody's necks and was like,
right.
So, probably time to get up out of here.
I felt like it was a hitch moment. Like, you know, when Will Smith taught Albert Brenneman how to go 90.
I love the fact that you said Albert Brenneman, like you didn't skip his last name.
Oh, no.
Because you got to say Albert Brenneman.
Yes. I only say that because when I be seeing little chubby dudes playing basketball that look like him, I'd be calling him Mall Cop or Albert Brenneman. But I like, you know, when he taught Albert Brenneman how to go 90, let her go 10 or something like that. So I felt like that was a situation they was in because Ray could have just stayed there. He was like, nah, I'm going to get up. Under the not understanding if KG's gonna come up and come towards me, and like they both got up and met each other. He was like, "Yo, you're gonna be here too soon." You know what I mean? So it was just like,
do you think it was real?
Moment. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely, because KG didn't have to say nothing.
That's true.
But we're gonna be like, who gave this sucker Ray Allen the seat right here in the front row of my seat?
But that's the thing is like Kevin Garnett is crazy, and he's a lot of things, but I don't think he's necessarily mean.
He told Mello, your wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
I said it, and as soon as I said it, you want to know what came into my head? Charlie Villanueva, shut up, you cancer patient.
Yo!
And then he said, I didn't say that. What I said is he was cancerous to his team and quite possibly the league. Kevin Garnett, ain't no way. That's what you said, bro. You be headbutting stanchions. We know that's not what's coming out of your mouth.
Yo, listen, man. Listen. There was a movie life story of him. He'd be the dude that played for Tupac and Above the Rim. That brother KG be tripping, man.
What, Harris? My man Avon Barksdale?
Yeah, that man be tripping. He's like, you better not blow this for me, Motar. but yeah, I thought it was a good moment. I do think it was genuine, and I do think from here, like they are able to like get past all the nonsense. You might even see Ray Allen on KG show.
Because when he was on that like Uncut Gems run, like he was just talking real crazy just in general.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, we wasn't scared of LeBron. All right, bro. We had LeBron scared.
Yeah.
All right.
Scared to win 2 rings. Whatever it is. Aside from that, we got one last thing and we can get off basketball. Okay. And that's none other than the Warriors looking like the Warriors again.
And I told you.
So it started with the first game, where Clay went off for like 38, got emotional, a little watery-eyed, like, man.
I did too, not gonna lie.
Like, I'm back. It's like.
It's almost like anytime Derrick Rose has like a really good game, and you're just like,
yes.
I was there.
I always think of the same.
I
always think of the same scene. You ever seen Coming to America?
Yeah.
I remember when that man takes.
Just ask me if I've ever seen Coming to America.
Right, my bad. Remember when that man takes Semi's pocket money?
Yes.
And he gave it to the two bums. And
Yeah.
he's like, for God's sakes, Hakeem, do not take my pocket money. He gave it to the two bums. He was like, Mortimer, we're back. So,
You know
yo,
who those guys are, right?
yeah, they're the guys from Trading Places, the
Oh,
ones
look
who
at
bet
this.
$1 and then they ended up losing everything to Eddie
Listen.
Murphy because him and Dan Aykroyd playing together and killed him on the orange juice trade. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yo.
You know what?
Yo,
You know what?
yo,
That's the
fit 'em
culture.
off.
That's gonna be the culture.
Fit him off.
That's gonna be the
Fit 'em
cultural
off.
gem right there.
You're
That's gonna be
changing the cultural gem
Yes,
right now.
I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, as I was
I
saying,
think I could do that because it was gonna be an Eddie Murphy movie anyway.
which is true. We gotta go one day talk about like the Eddie Murphy Mount Rushmore, like what the actual like top 4 Eddie Murphy
Movies?
performances are. Yeah,
Sheesh,
because you know, like 2 off the rip, it's like
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop and then Coming to America.
Coming to America.
And then it's like what comes after that. We know we're not gonna do it now because we're gonna get too deep into it. But like to stay on what we were talking about,
Depending on the era, some may say Dr. Doolittle, and I would smack them in the face.
they
because
be correct.
Boomerang was way better than that.
Absolutely.
Strong J. This is all right. Go ahead.
Thank you. But like, as I was saying, I was like, when this, like, you know, we were talking about the Warriors sliding like a little bit,
Yep.
and I was like, what's been the key thing missing? And I was like, Draymond Green has not been there.
Yep. So
And
after
then I
Clay
said-
drops to 38.
Draymond comes back,
Yep.
and them boys was chugging like a well-oiled machine. And it's
Yep.
like, because when Draymond is in, he runs the offense. And it's like Steph Curry can do what he does best, running off ball. Klay Thompson was making cuts that he wasn't making this whole
Yep.
time. Jordan Poole was making cuts that he hasn't been making.
Yep.
And it's just like everything was moving. And I was like, this team is going to be dangerous. And they're
Yeah,
getting
I'm
Wiseman back.
not a
Like,
big Draymond Green guy, but like it was a noticeable difference.
Mhm.
Like you could really tell the difference.
and you could tell he's still not even at 100% right now. Like
No.
he's maybe at 70%.
Right. And speaking of like not at 100%, pregame, this man Wiseman was knocking down corner threes.
Knocking
I
them.
think he had like 5 or 6 of them in a row, just like this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. See you soon.
It's crazy because like I don't know what happened, but like in the beginning of the year last year, like I think he won Rookie of the Month like 2 months in a row. Like he was going off,
Mhm.
and then the LaMelo train happened,
Yep.
and then Anthony Edwards finally started to get it together too.
Yep.
So like everybody was kind of like James Wiseman's a bust, and I was like, is that where we're at with James Wiseman? We're calling him a bust and like all this other stuff
Nah.
because I'm like that brother's
Hate-
got a lot of room for improvement, and it's
Haters
like
gonna hate.
yeah,
Haters gonna hate.
that's kind of like how it goes. But it's like
Haters gonna hate.
I don't want to play this team in the playoffs if I'm anybody, even the Phoenix Suns. I'd be like, hard to think one more so playing this team.
For me, it's between them and the Suns. The
I mean, yeah, they're top 2
the-
teams.
The Suns look, man. I know. I'm not saying that just because they're the top 2 teams. It's just like the Suns the other night against LA. I mean, I know it's LA. LA just lost to the Raptors, but like they look different.
They
Man.
lost to the
They look
Kings.
different. They definitely lost to the Kings as well. But it was just like they were. I don't know. Just like when you have so much confidence that you're like, I don't care who's on the court.
Yeah,
Like.
there are
they-
people who play up to the
I
competition.
feel like they were talented last year, but now they have evolved to something else this year to the point to where like before they were just balling.
They're a team now.
They were balling. And this year they believe that they can get something done. Last year they were just scrapping to see where they can get to, and it just happened to play out the way it did. Now it's almost like they were like, hey, listen, it's like finals or bust. Like we are getting to the finals. And they had that game against LA with no Chris Paul. Granted, yes, it was against LA. But for the offense to be flowing the way it was without your general on the court.
The campaign was looking like the campaign that was in the playoffs before.
Yes.
To me, there's no team in the NBA that should be feared more than Phoenix. I think that they're the favorites to win it.
Right. Like a couple of times when I've seen Booker come up, he pulls up for a 3. Then he gets to his mid-range, hits his mid-range. Then he hits a floater. Then you come down and you're worried about all that stuff. And he jumps up and turns a shot into an alley-oop. And it's just like, fam, how?
Yeah, what am I supposed to, like, how am I supposed to guard this dude?
Fam, how? Like, he's finding all the passing lanes. I'm either going to give up this poison behind the arc or I'm going to let this man dunk on somebody's neck. So it's like, it was pretty dope to watch. It's pretty dope to watch.
We did kind of skip over the Nets, the big matchup, the Nets and the Sixers won. Like, we kind of just said that, like, the Nets won, Philly lost.
There was nothing else to say. They smacked the boys in the mouth.
And then they had James Harden looking crazy. Ben Simmons didn't even have to get into the game.
Kyrie hit that man James with his step back, like, in your face.
Kyrie was like, I'm guarding James Harden all game, and had that boy in clamps, bro.
James Harden hit that 1-3 that everybody's like, oh, James got him back. And then it was like, all right, what happens now?
Yeah.
Because Kyrie's still going off, and we don't know what's going on. I think James was laying on the bed with that little Wolverine picture.
Morph.
But yeah, man. Somebody said something stupid. I put too many words together.
I was gonna let you eat, even though you was trying to come at me.
Nah, because
my
you're right, my bad. But somebody said something crazy. I don't even know where it came from, but they was trying to compare Joel Embiid and James Harden to Shaq and Kobe, and it was just like,
is it that crazy of a comparison?
Yes.
Why?
These brothers have been together for 2 weeks.
But what I'm saying is like super dynamic, offensively talented point guard, super dynamic, talented big man. It's like I can see the parallels. It's like literally any time that any
8 years player of treacherous domination and 3 rings.
Treacherous.
2 weeks, 2-2.
Yeah, I'm not saying
2-2, right? Or is it 2-3? 2-2. They won 2, lost 2. Or no,
they
3
won
and 2.
They won like 6 in a row first before they lost these 2 games.
I'm talking about in the last week. They played
2-2 in last week.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like it's the eye test. Is like these guys look like Kobe and Shaq. And it's like, yes, and of course Shaq does what Shaq always does. No, not even close. And he does like, oh, that type of stuff, whatever. And it's like, we're not saying that they're gonna do what you guys did or anything like that. But what I'm saying is like, that's just what it looks like. Like Joel Embiid is probably like the closest thing to Shaq since Shaq, right? And like as far as like shooting guards, like since Kobe, like who's been the most dynamic shooting guard? It's been James Harden. So it's like it's not. I don't agree with the tit for tat like on it, like because like I don't think that they're that comparable. But what I'm saying is like I can see how people make the comparison. It's a dynamic duo.
I can see how people can be stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I think you're misinformed.
No, I wasn't misinformed. I heard correctly what they said. I'm talking
to the other people like that would make that thing. It's like that's like literally the most base. That's like anytime someone throws down like a crazy dunk and they're just like, yeah, this kid's the next Jordan. Right. And it's like when people were saying that about Iverson, It's like, what about Iverson made you think he was the next Jordan? Like, you know what I mean? But like people were saying that. Isaiah Ryder, Harold Miner, like this is what I'm saying. Is like these guys are not the next Jordan, but it's like that's
I didn't think it was dope when they were saying it. Yeah, people just say dumb stuff to say it. They want everybody to be the next something instead of just allowing them to be who they are.
Wasn't Big Baby before he got drafted? Wasn't his nickname like Baby Shaq?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's because I think he went to LSU. He was a big man. He was dunking on people, and like that's where it came from.
I think if you watch Big Baby for more than 10 minutes, you know there was no Shaq in that man.
Of course not. Definitely not. He did get a ring though.
I actually met Big Baby. He's actually really nice. Like, I'd give him that.
He seems like a nice guy.
I miss him and Nate Robinson coming off the bench for the Celtics, like that Donkey and Shrek combo, because like they definitely played off of each other, mad crazy. Like what's the one where like when what
Donkey and Shrek?
Like when Big Baby was like. You saw all that, like,
was that the same game that he almost ran over the little white kid on the sideline?
With the Orlando Magic, like blasted that kid. I was like, this is great. Like I loved it.
It was like, I'm having so much fun. Oh, my shoulder's dislocated.
We need to go to urgent care.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get off of this because we went too far. All right.
But like we're starting to run long, so let's go for it. We got 2 more segments still.
Yep, we got home cooking first.
Okay. Oh, so we got 3 segments.
Yes, we do.
I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking. Whipping Nessie and no Corey's.
Yes. Home cooking remains the same, but we're gonna keep on tracking this, and hopefully we get to track it all the way to the championship. But Central Basketball continues to keep rolling. They had their Elite 8 game on Today's
Tuesday.
Saturday. I believe it was. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Yep. The girls were in a tight one, pulled it out. Boys were also in a tight one that were kind of snug all the way through the third quarter. Chill out. It's high school basketball. And then
I'm not the one saying anything.
In the fourth quarter, they pulled away and won. So both teams advanced to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. And I just got some news that the girls won their Final Four game, which was tonight. So they're off to the championship. They played at Worcester State. I can't tell you who they played against, but it was supposed to. I think it was. I want to say the number 1 team.
Okay.
So they beat them. They're headed to the championship against whoever wins out of 2 and 3, I believe.
Yeah, it's usually hard.
Or 2 and 4, because no, I believe Central's 2. So I don't know.
Oh, Central was 2. I didn't even know that they were ranked that high.
No, or maybe Central was 1 because I think they only lost 1 game this year. I don't know how it goes, but either way, shout out to the girls basketball team. They're really working really hard. I'm pretty sure they'll be all over Mass Live as they advance to the championship. The boys play tomorrow at 5 in Worcester State, and if they win, they will also advance to the championship. So it'd be pretty dope to have both girls and boys team
co-ed champions. I like that.
It would be pretty dope, especially coming off a COVID year where they didn't get to have playoffs, and before that, COVID shut down in the championship process. So they did co-champions in the Western Mass, and then they just shut basketball down from there.
That co-champion sounds trash.
Yeah, I can't remember who they were playing, but they made them I think Central had beat Putnam.
Is it Field of Dreams where they played like the championship game like in the field?
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I think they did it in Blue Mountain State too, where it was like they didn't have a winner. And they were like, well, let's go out and see who really wins this thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a couple movies they did that.
Yeah, but it's like, and I'm like, but am I tripping with the Field of Dreams? Is that like, am I wrong in that?
Nah, yeah, you're different. That's a completely different movie. That was Ghost in that movie.
There was definitely Ghost. There was most certainly Ghost in there. Like I'm aware of that, but like I feel like they used his field to play another game as well. But maybe I'm mixing. I think I'm mixing.
Let the Ghost play.
I get it. There's Ghost in this movie. I think I'm mixing 2 movies together. But it's like, but it would be like. I feel like if there was a co-champion thing, I'd be like, no, we need to go like LA Fitness or something to figure this out.
Yeah. This on that Rocky. He's like, my ring's outside. what Rocky was that?
But my ring's outside. Rocky 6.
It was 5. It was 5. Tommy gun. But yeah, so
I always get 5 and 4 mixed up. Always. Because I always think that the good Rockies are the odd ones, so Rocky 1, Rocky 3, Rocky 5. But Rocky 4 is definitely Drago, right?
Yes.
And I always get those 2 mixed up.
It's all right. So yep. So again, we'll hopefully the boys handle their business tomorrow, and then both teams will be in the championship. So shout out to Springfield basketball again. You know what? It's not only important for those kiddos and them submitting like their glory after school. Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I hate that phrase.
I'm sorry.
Like, oh, yeah, we gotta get, guys gotta care about the kiddos. I'm like, just call them kids, like the students. Like I hate.
My grandmother heard any of them, she'd punch us in the mouth. She'd be like, kids are baby goats. These ain't baby goats. They are children. Punch you right in the face.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, it's just really good, not only for them and their history, but like just for the city in general. It puts a spotlight on the athletes here, and a lot of people are gonna come and start watching games that they weren't coming to watch before. And that means exposure for these kids and things for them to have aspirations for, other than anything that could be getting them in trouble. So shout out to the community. All right. Let's roll right over into the Blitz. All right. First things first, in the Blitz, go ahead, man. You ain't been here in a while. Go ahead, man.
I thought we were doing the Blitz last.
You sure?
I thought we were gonna do the overweight lovers. But all right, but no. Go. We're gonna do the Blitz now. I know we got a lot to cover in the Blitz. But like we can kind of just go easy breezy. Like, do we care about this? Does it matter?
Yeah, some of this stuff I don't care about, but we're gonna bring it up just to bring it up, man. All right, first things first. Calvin Ridley is out.
Papa freaks on the honeys.
There it goes. That man Calvin Ridley is out of the league for a year for gambling on games. Somebody
game.
Listen.
I think it was like $150 that he bet.
Are you
serious? I think it's either 150 or 150,000. But like regardless, he's out for the whole season now. That's like millions of dollars that he's losing out.
That's crazy.
And he wasn't even playing.
And the internet is still undefeated because
he also didn't bet on Falcons games. So it's like you don't even have the insider knowledge of the game.
What?
Yeah.
But there was the referee that forget it.
That boy placed that bet, and the NFL was like, man, get out of my way. Watch out as I come through, busting in your line, cracking numbers in 2. When I bring the pain, what you gonna do? Harder than hard, rougher than rough. Rah!
But yeah, so Calvin Ridley's out of the league for That was so disgusting.
That was all on my chin.
That's what you get. But yeah, so this man's
clean out your locker. I'm out to get you.
Yeah, I knew it.
But Calvin Ridley
out the league for a year.
Yep. What a wild turn of events it's been for him. Like the past, 7 months?
The internet is still undefeated.
Of course.
The very next day, they had mad games of this man like catching the ball at the first down marker and running backwards for like 2 yards. It's like, don't do this, man, man. This, man. I was waiting for somebody to put the dude from Blue Chips on there. I was like, this is my guy. I recruited him. This is my guy. But yeah, man, it sucks, man. It is what it is, man.
I didn't see that one.
Shout out to
Man, I haven't seen Blue Chips in quite some time.
Shout out to the homie Lil Eddie because I know he's hurting right now. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, Blue Chips is that's a cultural gem right there too.
At some point. I might have to actually rewatch that cultural gem when we do it too. When you tell us where we can find it, I might actually find it. I got you. I might get voodoo.
It might be on YouTube. So yeah, Calvin's gone. We'll move on from that. Russell to Denver though. AFC. As we continue. All right. So this is where we go. All right. So Russell went to Denver.
Yep.
Khalil Mack went to the Chargers.
Yep.
J.C. Jackson went to the Chargers.
Yep.
Somebody else went to Denver.
Randy Gregory
from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And there's a potential for Von Miller to go back to Denver. AFC West has become the best division in football.
They wilded. That whole because then you got Chargers.
Yes.
Raiders.
Yes.
Broncos.
Yes.
And Chiefs.
Best division.
The division's wilding, bro. The division is wilding.
Fam.
If it wasn't already crazy enough, they had Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert every year in there.
Fam, I feel like
now you added Russell Wilson to that.
I feel like they're all dressed like Maximus and they put him in the Coliseum and it's just like let's figure out who's coming out of this division. It's gonna be so crazy, bro. It's gonna be so crazy. And through all this, every team in that division has made a move except the Raiders. That's why I didn't want to talk about it last pod when I was just like all these potentials for the Raiders because it's gonna be heartbreaking.
You loved every second of talking about the Raiders stuff. You were just like, man, the Raiders forum is saying that Aaron Rodgers wants to go here, and so does Calvin Johnson's going to come out of retirement, and Ronnie Lott's going to come play safety for us. You were going crazy, and I was like, yeah, I don't know.
I also said that it was all speculation, and I didn't want to get my hopes up because I felt like all these players was going to end up somewhere. Amari Cooper went to the Browns.
Yep, and then
Aaron Rodgers re-signs for $150 million.
And then the Browns promptly released Jarvis Landry right after.
Right.
It's I don't understand what anybody's doing.
Right. I don't get it. What else? What else do we have? Mitch Trubisky is now the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is crazy.
What is going wait, don't worry, I got more. Teddy Bridgewater and Chase Edmonds went to the Dolphins. Wait. Oh, you thought it was that? Deshaun Watson is innocent, so many people are gonna be shopping for him. And to put the cherry on the cake, Tom Brady's wife got on his nerves so much, and his kids is running around the house breaking stuff that he was like, you know what? I'd rather take my chance with CTE than stay home.
I got a good one real quick. So you tried to tell me this wouldn't have been the best post of all time. Deshaun Watson gets found innocent. And if he just has a little bit of smoke and him just opened up the door, he's like, out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. As soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing Hoochie screaming. I would have been like, Deshaun Watson's probably my favorite player of all time.
No. Did you hear what Patrick Ramsey said?
No.
Jalen Ramsey? Jalen Ramsey, I'm sorry. This man said, every time we play Denver, I'm playing Future.
Baking soda in the styrofoam. My God.
These brothers disrespectful out here, man.
Right.
This brother's disrespectful out here, man.
Do that if you want to, and let that Russell Wilson put it on your head top.
Who's he throwing the ball to?
Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Tim Patrick?
Yep, that's a pretty good arsenal.
And then he's like, hey, Javonte Williams, you want to run this for a little bit?
Hey. You're right. You're right. My bad. I'm tripping.
It's not DK. I know DK is sick, boy, because he's looking over, he's like, Drew Lock.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Yeah. He's going to request a trade. He's going to end up not playing.
One of the meme that always comes up is the one where it's the Lamborghini sitting next to a falling apart mobile home. They're DK Metcalf in Seattle. And I was like, yeah.
Listen, so the top 3 wide receivers I'm still checking for. And we can talk about any of these topics in depth. I don't think really of them really need to. I just think it's been – I was waiting for the offseason to pop off, and it's officially popped off.
Oh, yeah. They called it Free Agent Frenzy Day.
Yeah.
As it was. Everybody was going everywhere.
Right.
So, I know you were really looking forward to DJ Chark. My brother wound up going into Detroit.
There you go. Another one.
Yeah.
But the top 3 wide receivers that's out there that I'm really still concerned about is DK, of course. I think he's going to request a trade. Devontae Adams.
Yep. He's already requested a trade.
Yep. And
like he was like, I'm not playing on the franchise tag. So either they got to pay me or whatever, because he's taking a page out
waive
of
me, trade me, do whatever it is that you give him that Willie Beeman line. Like
he said, what's he said, yo, I'm with Discount Double Check, bro.
Right.
Like I already seen the playbook how it works over here.
Right.
So like that's what I'm gonna do.
Right. So and then Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
With the Saints. So it's still
not Jarvis. You know that Jarvis Landry?
Michael Thomas.
That brother hasn't even played in the year.
I know. He's gonna be ready. Trust me. He's gonna be ready.
There's definitely people out like now we're at the point in the free agency thing where it's like until Deshaun Watson gets traded, like wherever he ends up going, it's like everybody's kind of like we're not even in the B tier anymore. These are like C to D list guys.
So you get two teams to think about where Deshaun lands. What two teams are going?
You gotta ask me this just like off the top of the dome.
Yes.
I know he's already he's meeting with the Panthers, and I think he's meeting with the Saints.
Okay.
And it's like, if I'm him, like, I don't know if those are the teams that I want to go to. Obviously, you need to go to a team that needs a quarterback. The Eagles would probably be pretty happy to have him because they've been really weird on Jalen Hurts. So if I'm the Texans, first of all, I'm trading you out of the AFC.
Yes.
Because I'm not trying to play you no more. So that means you have to go to the NFC.
Right. And
I think this is one of the reasons why Aaron Rodgers decided to stay with the Packers is because, like, quarterback-wise, NFC is kind of wide open. Like, there's a lot of places you can go. This is a real crazy one. I would love it if, like, somehow he got traded for Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever. He ends up in San Fran. Like, that would be fire. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's in the books. But, like, I would love
that would be
a Deshaun. I think I might get a Deshaun Watson 49ers jersey because I love me some 49ers.
Yeah, I was thinking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. Boy, what you mean? God.
I was thinking Pittsburgh. I
AFC
was also thinking Colts, and of course, I was hoping for the Raiders.
The Colts, who just traded away Carson Wentz.
Yep.
Carson Wentz, the new quarterback of the Commanders.
Yep.
We never talked about that name. How do you feel about that? Washington Commanders.
I don't like it.
I talked to a Washington fan like this past weekend. I was like, wow, you guys exist. But like,
I just felt like you went on the other side. Like you went from the Redskins to the Commanders. Like I don't.
He was like, I really, really like the name Washington Football Team. And I was like, I gotta admit, it kind of grew on me too. Like Washington Football, like WFT was a pretty solid abbreviation.
Yeah, I don't like the Commanders at all. Like I said, I feel like it's just the other side of the coin. The mascot's gonna come running out with a blanket full of smallpox. It's like, what's like, no.
But a commander could be anybody of any race. Like Redskin is very specific on what you're doing.
Definitely. I don't like it.
I don't think it's a good name either. But I think I felt the same.
Big C on the side of the helmet.
I felt the same way about the Oklahoma City Thunder when they became the Thunder. And it's like now it's like
you know what I want to see? I want to see what the mascot looks like.
I was gonna say that.
I want to see what the mascot looks like.
And the thing is, like, I feel like they're just corny in general.
Yeah.
So like, are they gonna be like real corny? Like have them come out with like almost like the leather head helmet and stuff like that, like a commander, like everybody move out, the Commanders are here. Go like some dumb shit like that.
Was that freestyle? Did you really think this?
No, I really just freestyled that right now. And then I was thinking like comes out looking like Bubba Gump.
What was that voice?
That's an old school commander. I'm thinking like a cigar in the mouth, like everyone over the line, like so, like or the dude from Full Metal Jacket.
I know, that's hilarious.
If they got, I think he died though. I was gonna say if they got the guy from Full Metal Jacket to come and do something like that'd be fire.
Yeah, he's like the Walmart version of George Clooney, right?
That is a wild thing.
I'm thinking about Saving Private Ryan. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you got the wrong movie.
The commander from Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket is. This
Sergeant
is my
Power.
gun. My gun is my friend.
Yes.
When they beat that man with the bars of soap.
Yeah, tore him up.
Did that man dirty. I
remember like I was like I can never be on the top bunk now because like, all they gotta do is pull the covers down and I can't go nowhere. And I was terrified. And I was like, if I get locked up, I got to go to bottom bunk.
How trauma ruins our life. They was like, you better hit him. He was like,
he was like,
he could have hit him once and got out of there. He was like, no.
Nah, he went off.
Work. It's like, and he was like, oh.
Because you do it the one time. That was a great impression right there. That was the one.
Yeah. There you go.
Do we have anything to say about the Blitz or like?
Nah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it, man. Let's get into these heavyweight lovers.
I keep trying to think of like new songs. Like I was gonna be like computer love, but I was like, I don't want to do that. So like, I think
it's relative though.
It is, but it is. But I'm gonna keep it with the. Please tell your lovers and friends that Raisin and Big Nasty about to do it again. Hey, oh, baby, how you doing? No, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing. We're just keeping that lovers and friends. But today's topic, today's topic, we can call it computer love, I guess.
Yeah.
So like the way that we're trying to do this is the overweight lover section for you, those of you that haven't figured it out. Mm-hmm. What we're trying to do is we're kind of trying to like ping pong back and forth because like obviously we are at very two far ends of the spectrum in our love lives. So like feel like this is my week, so like I'm gonna keep it more like on the dating side, and then you're gonna keep it more on the long-term relationship, you know, stuff like, or like more like a building type of deal.
There you go.
On your stuff, right?
A house.
A house is not a home.
Hey.
But yeah, so like the topic that I wanted to do today was just like online dating in general, but like the main thing is your online dating profile because that is key. And first,
shout out in the comments, who's online dating?
You're bored. So like,
are you really?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a profile and everything?
Yeah, I got multiple profiles.
Let me see it.
Are you serious? Okay.
You give me something to do while you get into your bag, right? Quick.
Well, first off, is like one of the key things is knowing what you're in.
Premium?
Oh yeah, because like I'm gonna get into that too. Is like, you know, you have to find out what. Why are you laughing, bro? Like
I can't find your profile. Oh, maybe there's a little body right here.
Yeah, on the bottom right. Yeah, and you click that up top.
What's this little percentile mean? What's that mean?
How many people think I'm sexy? No, I'm saying it's like the percentage of my profile that is completed.
Yeah.
But like the main thing is to find the online dating app that works best for you. So like for those like those that Tinder.
Yo, can I read this or not?
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to see if you fit some checklist I have. I'm trying to see if you can enjoy myself around. If I can enjoy myself around you, and we can figure everything else out later. This guy's out here.
I'm trying to keep it being.
This is what dating life is like these days. It's a battlefield out here.
It's wild, bro.
What? All right, go ahead. Continue.
So
my bad.
what's it called? So like Tinder, for instance, like that's primarily like a hookup app. Like if you going on Tinder, you kind of looking for somebody to smash. So you got to meet your expectations there. Hinge is a little bit more like I'm trying to do like dating around the way. Whatever one that you decide is for you, your best bet is to probably get you're gonna have to pay for it. Because it's like the way that these things work is they try to lie to you and they tell you that like, 9 people liked your profile, but you can't see them unless you pay for it type of deal. So like you're better off. That's what they do. It's like you're better off just going there, figuring out which one is for you, and then like really, really focusing your energy on that one, your money and your energy. I know I picked Bumble. Bumble's kind of like the one where you pay like a certain amount and it's like you never have to pay again. So it's like I already paid like $100 and it's like I'll never have to pay for it again. The other ones are like monthly or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the main thing is your profile. And one of the biggest things about your profile is your pictures. And there's a criteria. There's an algorithm to it. You're saying that there is like listen, everything is an algorithm and everything is an algorithm for a reason because these are the way that things work. These are the way our brains work. First and foremost, if you are unattractive and you know, if like when people be like, I don't think that I'm attractive, you know if you're attractive or if you're not attractive. So like if you're not attractive, you can't be mad when you're not getting the hits that you think that you should be getting because these apps are designed for you to show your.
I did something. I don't know what I did.
Brother, what'd you do?
Oh, okay. I fixed it. I recoiled whatever I did wrong. Here, take this.
Yo, bro. I was gonna say, are you messing up my algorithm? Like swiping right, swiping left? Are you messaging people?
No, just forget it. It's all set. It's good. A picture flew away.
Like one of my pictures?
Yeah. No. One of like a picture of someone else.
What direction did that picture fly in, bro? Okay.
When I hit the refresh button and it came back.
Was you bad?
Bro, I'm a married man. You gotta check your profile and figure it out. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So like you can't be discouraged like that because like the whole point of this is like it's supposed to be like the base impulse of dating. And it's like people talk about love at first sight. I don't think that love at first sight is real. I think lust at first sight is. And it's like that's attraction. And it's like if you're attractive, you're going to crush it on a dating app no matter what pictures that you post.
The infatuation.
Yes. And it's like that's what these dating apps are for. So like if you are not that attractive, you can't be upset when you're not getting the hits that you're looking for. That's what I hear from people a lot is like, oh, like I feel like people aren't hitting me up, or it's like nobody's hitting me up, and then I'll be like, oh, you got like a bunch of things in here and stuff like that. And they'll be like, oh, but like they're all ugly. I'm like, oh, you can't be mad at them for doing like you're doing to them what you're getting mad at people for doing to you. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what it is. So like
you are dating online.
You kind of got to take what comes to you because it's like unless you're gonna actually go out and if you are not physically attractive but you have a super dope personality, it is not going to come off super well online. You're gonna have to go someplace and actually meet people because like that's where your personality matters in person, not online.
Right. How does the online dating start?
Hold on. So I got to talk about the profile first.
Okay. All right. I have several questions.
And it's like, you know, like it seems like it's more geared towards women, but it's geared towards people like in general. Okay. You need to have at bare minimum 6 pictures on your profile. Your main picture has to be your face, chest up, whatever it may be, stuff like that. But it has to be your face. You should be smiling, so we should know what you look like when you smile, so on and so forth. There should at least be like 2 to 3 different outfits in there because it's like if you just did all your pictures like all at the same time and stuff like that, like you know people can tell like oh you don't even really care about this, like you just do it or whatever. So what I'm saying, I'm going in depth. I'm going in depth on this for a reason. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm listening.
You need 2 face pictures. One of them has to be with a smile, and then one of them you could try to do your like you know your sexy eyes or like whatever your thing is that you know what I'm saying like that face. But it's like one of them like needs to be like a smile. Like this is what I look like when I smile.
Okay.
Group pictures are fine. Do not make your group picture your main picture. That is the worst thing is trying to figure out whose profile that this is. And like you think it's the bad friend and then you're like, oh, is that one? Hell, I would have been next this one. It's like that. It's like, yo, like the group pictures, especially if your group of friends is bad, they're only going to make you look worse. They're only gonna make you look worse because then it's like now, or like I'm only getting you with you to get around your friend group. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Like, don't already listen. The dating game in itself is already as competitive as it is. Don't make your friends be your competition, especially if they're not dating. So like, this is about
this is hilarious. Go ahead, continue.
Secondly, or thirdly, I think at this point is whatever, and it's like you need to have a conversation with yourself. Figure this out. Whatever your best asset is, try to show it off as much as possible. You got big titties, make sure your titties is in these pictures. Make sure the cleavage is popping. Yeah, that's what we try to see. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if you got real nice big titties and you not showing them, you are wasting your time. Yeah. That would be like if you had mad bread in the bank, but you was riding a bike everywhere. Like nobody needs to like you not showing off your best asset.
I feel like this is so wrong.
If you if you caked up, then you need to have a couple full body pictures. Make sure that thing is poking in the picture. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of your best assets. Your milkshake brings the boys to the yard. You got to let them know that the milkshakes is ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
How did we get here?
I'm just saying, like, these are the key things. And then, like, and almost every profile has it. You got to have at least one. If you got them, and it's like, if you don't got the assets for it, I understand. You got to have a bathing suit pic. Bathing suit pic got to be in there because, like, we need to know what you look like without your clothes on, for the most part. Because it's like, you could be real deceptive in your photos without it. There's mad girls where, like, I've gone on their profile and they got 8 pictures and all of them are from here up. I'm like, well, you fat.
He had a bathing suit pic on his profile.
I got 2 bathing suit pics. I ain't shy. First of all, I ain't shy about my game. And I was like, I need you to know what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying?
This is hilarious.
This is hilarious. Are you for real?
Yes.
So that's just the picture game. Like, do you have anything to say about that? So it's like, if I look on your picture and I see, okay, this is a picture of her smiling. This is a picture of her cooling. This is a picture of her titties out. This is a picture of her, you know what I'm saying, cake out. This is a picture of her bathing suit. I know what you look like now. And it's like, if I like what I'm seeing, then it's like, now I'm going to read her profile. Type of deal. Like, does all that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense.
So it's like, and you got to have a variety of your pictures. Because like I said, if you take all the same picture, it's just like, No, I need to know. And it's like, if you can, if there's something that like you really, really, really like to do, like I seen girls that like skiing and they take a picture of them skiing. I'm like, do that. Cause like that's another thing too, is like I want to know what type of stuff that you're into. Cause it's like if there's I can't tell you how many profiles I go on. I'm like, man, she bad. And they'd be like, gym life. All I do is hike and snowboard. And I'm like, yeah, you ain't for me. Just give them over. So like, and then but then on the other end, there's probably someone who's like, I love skiing. I love doing this stuff. So like you want to have whatever you're thinking. If you a hooper, like, yo, if Shorty is Skylar Diggins or like whoever, and it's like you see her on the court, I'm like, damn, she hooped too. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to see that stuff. So like whatever like your interest or your hobby is that you can take a picture of and look good, like put it on there. Are you good? I mean, what you got? Did we make it past the first part?
Yes.
All right. So the second part is your biography, and it's like your biography is pretty much like what's it called? It's like your headline, where it's like this is the reason why you should come. Yeah, it's your cover letter.
Yes.
It's a cover letter. It's like, this is why you should date me. Keep it as short as you possibly can. Why are you laughing? Because you're laughing at my bio?
This is why you should date me.
That's really what it is. It's like, yo, like, hey, like, here's my resume.
Hey, fam, I'm just trying to tell you how these commodities is hot over here.
And it's like, so I would say like a majority of people, when they're going online dating, they're kind of just casting a wide net, and it's like whatever it is, it'll become whatever it is.
Okay.
But some people are like, I'm not here for casual sex. I'm literally here to find like my next husband or next wife or like whatever it may be. And it's like that is a tough sell for certain people. Like, yo, I was like, be your next husband. Like, I don't even know you. You don't even got no booty pics on here, and I want to know I want to be your husband. So like you got to be like real careful like the stuff that like you put in there. So it's like, honestly, like my name is such and such. This is what I do for work. This is what I'm kind of looking. This is why I'm on this app. I'm looking to meet someone, and then like give like 3 or 4 characteristics. Like I'm looking for someone who's funny, who's smart, who likes to do this, and like add something in there that is important to you that like you don't plan on changing. So like if I'm an avid football fan or something like that, it's like if I was so avid that it's like I go to every football game, I got season tickets and it's like I'm looking for someone who would love to go to a football game on a Sunday, who loves to do this, who loves like stuff like that. I'm a diehard Miami Dolphin fan. Granted, like a lot of people aren't really like that, but some people like that is their defining
Miami
thing.
fans, you're right.
It's like it's some people like that's their defining thing. So like whatever your thing is like, you know, like I'm looking for somebody that loves to go to wineries, or like someone that like we could have like, you know, that type of stuff. Put that stuff in there. Do not put in your things what you are not looking for in there, because it comes off real like crazy. You don't, first of all, if you just gonna come in here and think that you gonna hit, you can keep it pushing. It's like, apparently that's happened to you before. Like, so like, you know, so like
post your scars on your bio.
Don't post your scars on the bio. Yes. Don't do like that type of stuff. Because like the messages are gonna come. The messages are gonna come, and like when those things come,
this is a battlefield.
It is a battlefield. Are you learning stuff?
I'm learning stuff I don't need to know.
One of my favorite things on there too is like a lot of them give you prompts. So like, you know, like they'll be like, hey, like they'll have like 50 or 60 questions that they can ask you, and then like it'll put it on there. So like you could read on there is like, what are things that I'm into? You know, what are you watching on TV? What would people say about you? What do you think is your best of, like, stuff like that? Try to choose answers or questions in general that give you stuff that like are actually about you. Because it's like, if it's like, oh, what are you into? And it's like, oh, Grey's Anatomy, pizza, and wine. Okay, like that doesn't tell me nothing really about you, because it's like almost every girl I know is into Grey's Anatomy, pizza, and wine. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't tell me nothing really about you. But it's like, you know, like what do I like? I like going on hikes. I like going snowboarding. I like to do this. Like those are like a lot of things that are easier to get into. I always put on there like music is really big to me. So it's like I'm always like, what am I into? I'm like 90s hip hop, and that's how I get a lot of my hits. Is they'll go on there and be like, oh my God, like I love and I'm like, I love them too. They're actually coming somewhere pretty soon. Like, it'll be really dope. But like, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get things in there that are conversation starters, and like you don't want to have conversation deaders as your prompts. So you know what I'm saying? So like you gotta have this stuff in there. Why are you looking at me like that?
I have so many questions.
Go ahead. No, fire them off. Because like if not, I'm just like I feel like I'm giving a class.
Okay.
Fire your question off.
How does online dating happen? Like when did like meeting people in real life stop and meeting people online start?
I mean, as soon as like we were able to get apps on phones, right? Because like I used to
get that, but I'm just like, as a person, you're like, all right, the scenery is just not the scenery anymore. I need to get
all I ever hear all the time. Where do I meet new people?
Uh-huh.
Everybody's got a phone on them. Like, where are you gonna go? And everybody be like, I'm tired of meeting people at the club. Where am I supposed to meet new people? I'm like, well, you camp out at the library if you want. Like, I don't know what you're looking for, or on your phone, which you're probably on, your phone, which you're probably on 70% of the day, anyways. Like, here's people telling you what they're into, and it's like you're just matching stuff that like is into the same, or like damn, she dead, or like whatever the thing is. Because like to me, like when I look at the profile, that's how it goes. I'm like, are you cute enough? All right. Your profile, do you got something funny on here? Do you got something smart on here? Is there something in here that I can connect to? All right, now you get to swipe right. Sometimes you just so bad that I don't care what you talk about. I hear I'm gonna swipe right anyways because I just want to know casting the net. Casting the net. You know what I'm saying?
One more time.
Casting the net. So
all
like,
right.
yeah, I think that's how.
I still have more questions.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Does this work?
In terms of
like, are the apps functional? Like, are you like?
I'm sure Match.com will give you some sort of like number.
I'm not worried about what they
60% of people that ever meet people on
That's
here.
what I'm saying. I'm not worried about how they're trying to set our app. I'm asking, like, does the app actually work?
In terms of like getting dates?
Yes.
Yes, I would say that.
Okay.
It's like, so that's another thing too, is like, to me, you can't get discouraged by this stuff. And it's like, I was saying before, like if you're not very attractive, like, you know, the things don't start coming, like you can't just be like, I'm going to do away with this app after 2 days. Like these things take time. And it's like, it's going to take time for people to see you because not everybody's on here from 7 to 9 trying to figure out where everybody's at. It's like, nah, some like these things are an algorithm. And it's like the way that it works is like they kind of keep track of like who do you usually swipe left on, who do you usually swipe right on. And I'll give an example for myself. Is like when I first opened the app, all I saw was just, it was colonizers left and right for like at least 70 people deep. And I was like, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. Ooh, some adobo, swipe right. Swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. Ooh, some hot fudge, swipe right. So now I started noticing there's a little bit more seasoning in my things now. But it's like you've got to give these things time to breathe. It's kind of like with your music taste. It's kind of like with Netflix and stuff like that. It's like you got to watch a couple of these movies, and they're gonna give you one movie of like, ill. Why would I ever like that movie? And be like, thumbs that down. But all right, we ain't gonna show you some of that no more.
I have more questions.
Go ahead.
What is like the range?
What do you mean?
So like, is this all like local, or does it like it takes you to like?
It asks you all that. So like you can put in there whatever your range is. Your range could be anywhere from 10 miles to I think it's like 150 miles or something like that. Like you can, like I get stuff from people like in Rhode Island, Jersey, New York, stuff like that. But like it can go as far as like a Philly or something like that. But it's like, how far are you willing to drive to go on a date like that? Like, you know what I mean? Or like in the next 2 days, because it's like, I ain't going on no date to Philly on Thursday. Like that sounds crazy.
I feel you, especially if it don't work out. You're like, man, 12 hours out of my life.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
I thought go ahead.
Can I continue?
Go ahead.
So, what are the negatives?
Well, so that's myself. Like I said, like I'm a larger gentleman. I think I fall towards the lower end on the attractive scale. It's like you're gonna get swiped over a lot, and it's like you might feel like, yo, like I just know, like I know, because like you hear other people talk about other people that are on there, and it's like I know I got better game than this person. I know I know, or like you'll see somebody and you're like, yo, I really hope this person swipes on me, and they never comes. And it's like it's very easy to get discouraged, but you gotta kind of be like, yo, on to the next one, grand opening, grand closing, and it's like, you know, those are two Jay-Z's back to back, two different songs.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So like, I guess that's really a con, and then just like it almost seems like you have to promote yourself. It's almost like you're wearing a sign like, hey, here's a picture of me in a bathing suit, and like this is the type of stuff that I'm into. Please love me, because like I can't find love in real life. Yeah. But it's like that's not what it is.
Visual.
Yeah, you know. It's like, hey, like this is like, or a lot of people see it as like, if I'm on here,
anyone who's on
if I'm on here, I'm desperate. Like I'm so desperate, I had to come to online dating, and it's like that's not really what it is. It's a tool. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what the club used to be. It's like everybody used to go to the club, and it's like, oh, now you at the club. It's like, yeah, because this is where the single women is at. So that's where you go. And it's like, where the single women at? Single men at? Like, they're on here because not everybody, a lot of people, we're older now. Yeah. A lot of people got kids. A lot of people got other responsibilities. We can't go to the club every weekend. So here we are on here. I'm telling you that, like, I actually don't like going to the club anyways, because the club is a horrible atmosphere to meet people. Like, hey, yo, you look, in that dress though.
And then the music stops and you yelling mad
yeah,
loud.
dumbass.
So what you doing after?
More like a jumbo shrimp. I mean, like, that's like sorry.
Keep it moving, man.
Do you have any more questions?
I'm pretty sure I will. Go ahead, continue.
But I was like, for the most part, like, that's kind of what I had on it. It's like just your profile, because your profile is the most important thing at that point in time.
Yeah.
So you got to have at least 6 pictures on there, as minimal amount of group pictures as you possibly can, at least 2 to 3 different outfits, and show off your assets. I'm telling you, trust me. I'm not gonna put her on blast and say like her name, but I have like one friend.
Assets over scars.
You got great titties. You got great teeth. Them titties and teeth need to be in every picture. I was like, I don't understand why they're not.
T&T?
I always say the 3 T's, and I can't remember what the second T is, but I always like, yo, you forgot the titties and teeth. Like, what? Like, why are you not showing off the teeth? You got a great set of teeth. Show them off.
The teeth talent, maybe?
No. I really wish I could remember what it is, and I feel like she's gonna watch it. She's be like, yo, first of all, why you put me on blast? And I'm like, no.
I know, I was talking about you.
And it's like, is that how low that other T is that you can't even remember what it is?
Wow.
So like, yeah. So like, make sure like you get all that stuff done, and like, yo, your bio, keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sweet.
Get your algorithm together.
Who are you, and what are you here for?
Get your
like,
algorithm together.
Once you start getting like your things like super long, like I just want someone that like I can walk on the beach and do long, and I can have long conversations. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
When I'm alone in my room,
so I just stare at the wall. But it's like, yo, short, sweet, simple. I think 1 bar is good enough. You know what I mean? I think if we go further, that's how we can start getting clips.
I ain't taking no chances, man. YouTube's dirty dogs.
So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And I think next week we're gonna talk, or I'm gonna try to tackle what does it look like when you finally get into the DMs? Like, what does the conversation look like?
Oh snaps.
So like, and that's where the game comes into effect.
Oh snaps.
Maybe that'll be more of what it's talking about. We're gonna talk about game in general, because like I feel like that's one thing that's missing, or like, because it's so much easier to just do this. Like I was like, yo, to have Dame back in the day,
listen,
that was a lot.
Listen,
go ahead. When I'm alone in my room.
Listen, man, I'm leaving it at that. All right, that's what you got.
That's what I got. Online dating profile.
That was fun filled.
Computer love. That's all I was gonna do.
All right, man. So, we'll jump into the cultural gym.
Cultural gym.
All right, we already talked about it already.
You really changed your cultural gym.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
So we're going with Trading Places, which stars Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, who's homegirl from Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in there. And I don't know who are the 2 white dudes, Mortimer and
I don't know what their real actor names either. I think that's kind of like who they are.
Let me see. Oh, they have some super old pictures of them. Don Amici and
bro, these
Ralph,
pictures
Ralph
are in
Bellamy.
black and white.
Yeah, that joint is crazy. But yeah, so basically the story is like Eddie Murphy is like a poor guy living on the streets, and these 2 old guys bet $1 that they can make something out of the poor Eddie Murphy while destroying the rich Dan Aykroyd. Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd figure out what's happening. They work together to work against the 2 older dudes, and it's all about like stock marketing and insider trading. And it's like you learn something while also having a comic relief and learning how people that you step over each day could actually be the people that are brightest in the world. And it's a very funny, entertaining movie.
I feel like you read that off the back of the box. Like that's how like accurate that is.
I appreciate that. You can watch this. You ready for this?
Okay.
It's on Hulu. Gotta have the premium subscription.
It's ad free though, so you can watch Snowfall with no ads.
There you go. We got it on YouTube, Sling,
Amazon. Sling?
Yep, Amazon Prime,
Trading places out here.
And Voodoo.
Close.
Voodoo, you better start giving us some ads, man.
For real.
But yeah, so Trading Places.
The voodoo that you do.
It's hilarious. Check it out. You can't go wrong with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, though.
Especially in his prime, Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Like that man couldn't miss at that point.
Nah, definitely not. I think that was right before Beverly Hills Cop, right?
You could be right. You got to remember, I was super young at this time, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I think that was.
I have a hard time placing certain movies. I just remember they were in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was right before Beverly Hills Cop.
That was definitely part of our cassette collection, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, I do not have a Raisinette today.
No. I think we kind of went deep on the on the overweight lovers. So
yes,
I think there's a lot in there.
Yes, we did. There were some gems in there, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I think the main thing about that though is like you got to know yourself, and it's like, and you know what I'm saying, and it's like we talk about like knowing your best assets, not only physically but personality wise, and it's like also like what are your expectations? Like what are you here for? You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm here because I'm just trying to get some cutty. Like it's whatchamacallit. Then it's like I only have to put a certain amount of effort in, or I have to know this type of stuff. But it's like I'm in here because I'm trying to find somebody. Then isn't it worth putting the effort in? You know what I mean? If you're really trying to find your forever person.
I feel you. I just like that you used the word cutty, which came from the movie Atlanta, which had T.I. in it, and you don't really be rocking with T.I. like that.
That's where you got that from?
Yes.
Because I was thinking like Kid Cudi, which came out before ATL. The some cut. What it is, huh? Oh, what's up?
Not going for it. But yeah, I like the idea of assets over scars. I like the fact that you said push your assets. Don't.
You said that. Don't try to give me credit for something that you said. That was a fire bar that you threw out there.
Yeah, but I mean, it came off of what you were delivering. You know
yeah, because nobody like as messed up as it sounds. Don't nobody want to hear about your trauma, especially before we even start dating. Like, yo, we're going to talk about that when we get to like first date conversations. But like, yo, hold on to that as long as you can, because I do not care. I am just trying to see what's going on. Like, are we getting together this weekend? And like, what does that look like? And you over here telling me about like this crappy relationship you just came out of. I'm like, man, yeah, that sounds like it sucks. So like, do you like sushi or like, what's going on? What are we doing? Are you a good bowler? Like, what are you talking about?
Not at that date yet.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's not first date material.
Not at all.
Okay. I wouldn't know. It's a battlefield out there. I don't want no parts of it. Them landmines will stay there forever.
Said love is a battlefield.
That's what's up. She was right. All right, man. Without further ado, man, welcome back to Heavyweight Bros. The homie came back. All right. We will see y'all again this weekend. And remember, we got them timestamps in, man. So don't let that duration of the whole video fool you.
This joint got to be $140.
Got to. If not more. But you can get right to what you want to get through in those timestamps. We put those in there for you. And we're going to be posting this up on Instagram to keep y'all enticed and in tune. All right.
Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're enjoying the content, if you're not enjoying the content, whatever it may be, comment below. Every little bit helps because all we're trying to do is give you the best content that we can.
I feel like I'm pointing at something.
Something's there.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. We'll holler at you.
Oh, I feel like my fingers look awful here.
There you go. At least you're not doing the thumb thing again.